What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful fight fans across the world? And in this video, welcome to the BMF tournament of the UFC. Dana White just announced that we're getting the BMF tournament in the UFC. He wants it. This is what we're gonna get. Okay, I'm just playing. It's not confirmed, but you know, it would be great if we can have another tournament in MMA. It's been a hot minute since we have tournaments in MMA. A hot minute. I was probably a youngin'. I was probably not even 10 years old the last time there was a tournament in MMA. But I got the matchups that are most likely to happen. So Dustin Poirier is most likely going to fight Justin Gaethje in his next fight. Michael Chandler's going to fight Charles Oliveira at UFC 310. If Max Holloway beats Ilia Topuria, which I don't think is going to happen, but if he does, he's going to fight Volkanovski, which is the most likely fight, the most likely matchups. Out of all these people, I just made the most likely matchups between all of them. And then Conor McGregor versus Dan Hooker. I just had to put these guys in there because I saw one BMF tournament with everybody here except it was Nate Diaz instead of Conor McGregor. I'm like, what? We need Conor McGregor in there, my boys. We need Conor McGregor. I know Nate Diaz is the original BMF and all that, but Nate Diaz is a pudgy old man. Okay, I'd rather have Conor McGregor out there with puncher's chance. Okay, power never leaves you. Nate Diaz has the gas tank and all that, but in the chin, but I don't know if that holds up today. I don't know if that holds up. We got Donald Cerrone coming back to the UFC. We got Unks in the UFC. But let's break down the tournaments. Who do I think would win these matchups? How do I think these matchups will go? Let's start. First, Dan Hooker versus Conor McGregor. Who do I have in this fight? You know, nowadays, back in the day, if you asked me this fight, maybe 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, you asked me who would win, Dan Hooker versus Conor McGregor. I think everybody and their mother, everybody and their goddamn grandmother would say Conor McGregor's going to smoke Dan Hooker. But today, Dan Hooker, I think he would smoke Conor McGregor. Okay? I think the tables have turned, my boys. I think we're in a different era here. We're in the Conor McGregor era. Okay, we're not in the Dana 60 G's. Okay, my Conor impression is bad. I know. You guys talked about it before, but I try my best. I do this one good, though. Jab, slip, uppercut, backhand, row. Okay, my bad. Let's get back on topic. But Dan Hooker, he has better ground game than Conor. I think he would... Dan Hooker has a chin on him. Don't forget that. Dan Hooker has a chin on him. At lightweight, he ate a flush head kick from Jalen Turner. I think he would eat the shots from Conor McGregor. I think Conor McGregor could definitely win this fight. He definitely has a puncher's chance against Dan Hooker. I think the person he can beat most on this list is probably Dan Hooker or... sorry to say nowadays, but it's probably Volk because Volk's chin. I don't know if I could trust his chin no more. But if I had to pick somebody in this matchup, I'm going with Dan the Hangman Hooker. Okay? So next matchup on the list, we got Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. So Justin Gaethje almost got murdered on live TV at UFC 300. We all saw that. We all saw that. Okay, my goddamn grandmother in the village would have saw that highlight. Everybody in the world saw that goddamn highlight of Max Holloway KOing Justin Gaethje. And I think Justin Gaethje, I think he's cooked after that. I don't know. I don't think you come back from a KO like that, the same guy. Because Justin Gaethje, he's a wild style. Every punch he throws is to kill you. He doesn't care about getting hit. He's going to hit you back. But last fight against Dustin Poirier, the head kick, it was set up perfectly. But Dustin Poirier was piecing him up before that head kick. He was piecing him up. And I think Dustin Poirier, the performance he had, I have to go off the last performance. And Dustin Poirier looked great against Islam Makhachev. He looked amazing. So I have to pick Dustin the Diamond Poirier in this matchup. I have to. I have no choice. I have to pick Dustin Poirier. I have to pick, bro. But let me know. Do you disagree with that? Do you agree with that? I think Dustin Poirier wins that easily nowadays. But I think they're going to fight again, so we'll find out, I guess. We'll find out. But next matchup on the list, we got Michael Chandler versus Charles Oliveira. You know, this is kind of a tough matchup to predict because Michael Chandler hasn't fought in about 2 years. And Michael Chandler is the best first-round fighter in the world. If Michael Chandler didn't have autism, severe levels of autism, he would be world champion right now. He would be world champion. But he's the best first round fighter in the world. But after that, the fall off is crazy. The IQ fall off is insane. If I had to pick somebody in this matchup right now, today, who am I going to pick for UFC 309 in the co-main event? I'm going to pick Charles Oliveira, a big champion. A big champion. Okay, I'm picking Charles Oliveira. Let me organize Dan Hooker a little bit so it looks a little cleaner with these matchups. Oh, no, not like that. Dan Hooker. Charles Oliveira, I think he's going to beat Michael Chandler again. And that's going to be a sad thing for Michael Chandler because he waited how many years to fight Conor McGregor? And now he has to go out there and fight Charles Oliveira and lose to him again, the guy who took the belt away from him. I feel sorry for Michael Chandler, but he definitely could go out there and beat Charles Oliveira. He just has to use a little bit of IQ, just a little bit of fight IQ. Just Mighty Mouse has to donate 1% of his fight IQ to Michael Chandler, and Michael Chandler will be the greatest fighter in the world. Literally. But I don't think that's going to happen, my boys. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Charles Oliveira is going to get to him and submit him. Yeah, that's going to happen in that matchup. Next fight on the list, Max Holloway versus Volkanovski. I have to go off their last performance, my boys. I know Volkanovski beat Max Holloway 3 times. I know he did. I know Max Holloway we can't even say he don't got the KO power no more. But Max Holloway, he really got the KO power when he sits down on that punch and wants to KO you. That's when he throws the KO punch. Like the Korean Zombie, like the Justin Gaethje punch. Those were like, he really sat down, gritted the mouthpiece, and boom! Like he really threw that hoe. That's why he knocked out the Justin Gaethje. That's why he knocked out Justin Gaethje, Korean Zombie, you know, but who do I have today? I have to go off the last performance. Okay, Max Holloway looked goddamn amazing against Justin Gaethje. Maybe Justin Gaethje is a bad stylistic matchup for Max Holloway, but Max Holloway arguably won the second Volk fight. But in the third fight, he didn't even win a round. I think this is the hardest fight to predict on this list because if Volk's chin is compromised, he's cooked. He's cooked. Max Holloway, even though I like to say he has pillow hands, he can still get to Volk. He was getting to Volk in the second fight. I don't know. If I had to go after, I have to go after last performance, my boys. You're only good as your last fight. Okay? I have to go with Max Holloway. I know this is MMA, like MMA math. Volk beat him 3 times. He's going to be in the 4th. Hey, Alex Pereira beat Izzy 3 times. And Izzy got his get back. So, you never know. You never know with MMA. It's the craziest sport in the world. That's why we all love it. That's why we all watch it. But if I had to pick one today, I got to go with Max Holloway. So next matchup on the list, Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker. We already saw this fight go down. Dustin Poirier and Dan Hooker went to war. They went to fucking war. It's one of the best fights you can ever watch. One of the best lightweight fights ever. Who would I have today? I probably still have to go with Dustin Poirier. Even though, Dan Hooker's been looking great in his last couple performances, but how different is the fight going to be between him and Dustin Poirier? It's going to be a wild fight. Anything could happen in a wild fight like that. But who would I pick? Between these two guys? I got to go with Dustin Poirier. He looked amazing against Islam Makhachev. So, Dan Hooker looked amazing against Gamrot. But compared to Dustin Poirier's performance, I don't know. This one's tough too. I don't know. Who would I have nowadays? Maybe Dan Hooker. Okay, maybe I'm rethinking my choice here, my boys. Dan Hooker, I don't know. I think without the threat of the takedown, both of these guys would shine in the striking. Both of these guys would really put it on each other like they did in their last fight. I would probably have to go with, nowadays, who would I go with? I have to go with Dustin Poirier. I have to. This is tough. This is a tough list because anybody in any of these matchups could beat each other. That's the crazy part. Maybe not Conor McGregor. Maybe not Michael Chandler. Nah. They all have a chance. They all have a chance to beat. Anybody on this list has a chance to beat another guy. Okay, but if I have to pick one between Dustin Poirier and Dan Hooker, I gotta go with Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Shine bright like a diamond. Okay, I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry. Oh, I put him on the wrong line. That's my bad. I put him on the wrong line. Next fight on the list. Sorry, not next fighter. Next fight on the list. Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. Holy shit. Imagine seeing that fight pop up on your fucking phone. I'm throwing my phone across the room. Okay, and I'm throwing my phone across the room and I'm dancing to some dumbass Brazilian funk song. Okay, that's how that fight is gonna get me if I see that fight on my phone. But Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. Oh my God, I don't know. This one is tough. Max Holloway has some good takedown defense. He has good ground game. He has an underrated ground game. But Charles Oliveira has the hands too. I think Max Holloway would have better hands, but I think Charles Oliveira would submit Max Holloway. Is that a crazy thing to say? Is that a wild thing to say? I don't think so, my boys. I don't think so. I think the longer this fight goes on, Charles Oliveira would get to Max Holloway. I don't know. This is a tough one. This one's tough because Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira, he gets his submissions when he gets his opponents hurt, and then he submits them. That's how that stuff ends. But who would I pick between Charles and Max Holloway? This is one of the tough. Oh my God, this list is getting tougher and tougher. Like, it was tough from the beginning, but now it's extra tough. Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. At lightweight, I gotta go with Charles Oliveira. He's a more complete fighter. I have to go with the more complete fighter. Somebody who can change it to the ground if he needs to. That's what I think. I think Charles Oliveira would beat him. Oh my God. I don't know. Did I fuck up this bracket? I don't know if this is the last. Like, Max Holloway's the BMF right now. I think I fucked up this bracket. I'm sorry, my boys. I think I fucked it up. Nah. This is how it's supposed to be. If these guys got to the end, they deserve to be at the end. But who would I have between Dustin Poirier and Charles Oliveira? We saw this fight go down already. Okay, we saw this fight go down. I know Dustin Poirier's improved now. I know he's improved from that Charles fight. Definitely in his ground game. But Charles Oliveira, a big champion, my brothers. Okay? You know, actually, Dustin Poirier did way better against Islam than Charles Oliveira. We can really talk about that. But I think it would look like their first fight again. Is that crazy to say? I think he would hurt Charles Oliveira and not go to the ground with him. I think Charles Oliveira would just recover until he cracks Dustin Poirier back and gets him in a submission. The BMF champion of the UFC, the man who would win the BMF tournament, is Charles Oliveira. You know what else we have to take into account, though? These guys are going to take hella damage in this tournament. Like, it's a tournament. It's not like, who would take more damage? Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje, or Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler? Oh, and Max Holloway. Oh, shit. Oh, nah. They would both be fucked up. Let's be real. Dustin Poirier has to go through Dan Hooker and Justin Gaethje, and Charles has to go through Max Holloway and Michael Chandler. I think they would both be fucked up. Maybe Dustin Poirier would be a little less fucked up. Maybe he would KO Justin Gaethje early, but I don't know. I don't think so. Damn, though. Damn, I think I still have to go with Charles Oliveira, my boys. I think he would be the BMF champion of the UFC if we ran the tournament. Let's run it. Let's run it, Dana. Let's really find out. And, you know, Charles Oliveira, he already beat Dustin Poirier. He already beat Justin Gaethje. He already beat Michael Chandler. He beat most of these guys on these lists, so I think I have to go with him. I think I have to. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know if y'all will agree, but leave a like, subscribe. I'm dropping videos like this almost every single day. But let me know. This was a tough list to make. Let me know if I fucked up any of these fights. But turn them notifications on. Oh, we almost had 300 subscribers, so thank y'all so goddamn much. I love all of y'all, but that's it for this video. And I'll see you, beautiful people, in the next one, man.